Alright, so for my part of this unit, I'm talking about newer popular devices that have also been from 2013 and also from 2012. So probably more from 2012 and before that. And I'm also going to be talking about effective sales and parts like that. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is how the fact that the PC sales have fallen, and this is the first time it's happened in over a decade. Now, although this could be considered bad, Microsoft have released their new Windows software, Windows 8, which could have been the software that could have started to save the PC area. The reason PC sales could have fallen is the fact that tablets, smartphones, and other devices, smart devices, have been overtaking the PC section of the technology market. So the way this could have started is the fact on how when the iPod and iPhone was released, this seemed to could have been the start of the PC sales or the PC era going downhill, and now it's time for the smart era, so to speak. So now smart devices and things like Android and Apple, the two big companies, seem to be overtaking Windows, and people seem to be wanting smart devices as they are actually easier and more convenient to use. So that could have also been a reason why PC sales have been affected this year. Okay, so let's talk more about Windows 8 and how this could also save PC, but it could also be a bad thing for PCs. The reason this could be a bad thing is it's actually being released on many tablets and smart devices such as the Windows Phone, and the Metro theme that it uses is definitely designed more for touchscreen PCs. So that could be something how PC sales would increase. It would be going more towards touchscreen PCs than to actual just normal mouse and keyboard PCs. A good thing that has come out of the Windows 8 release is the fact that the share prices have increased by 0.57%. So this shows that Windows is actually starting to do well, and this could be because of the release of Windows 8. But there is another statistic which goes against this, which is from a company called HPQ, Hewlett Packard & Co. have actually had a negative share price, minus 1.26%. And they have also said that laptops and PC sales have fallen by 14% in the first quarter of the year. So the new tablet that's been released using the Windows 8 software that could also, I guess, save more of the Windows or Microsoft company from PCs is the Surface. It is not only a tablet, it is also a laptop, but it can be turned into a tablet by simply taking off the screen from the keyboard. Okay, so now let's talk about the top 10 trends of 2012 in the technology market for tablets and so on. So at number 10 you've got the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2. Number 9 you've got the Barnes & Noble Nook HD Plus. At number 8 you've also got the Google Nexus 10. At number 7 you've got the Barnes & Noble Nook HD. At number 6 you have the Fuhunabi 2. At number 5 is the Amazon Kindle Fire HD. Number 4 is the iPad Mini. Number 3 is the Asus Transform Pad Infinity TF700. And number 2 is the Google Nexus 7. And at number 1 is the iPad 4. Now as you can see in those trends from that site, the research that I had done, I did not see anything from the Surface or such things like that. So this could be an unreliable source going back to share prices, but that could also be true by sales. I also looked on PC World and I found the top 10 smartphones that they had. At number 1 was the Motorola Droid Razr HD. At number 2 was the iPhone 5. At number 3 was the Samsung Galaxy S3. At number 4 was the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. At number 5 was the HTC Droid DNA. At number 6 was the Google Nexus 4. At number 7 was the Nokia Lumia 920. At number 8 is the HTC One S. And number 9 was the HTC One X. And at number 10 was the iPhone 4S. Now the only smartphone in there that is related to Windows is actually the Nokia Lumia 920, which actually came at number 7. And as you can see, before that came more smart devices from other companies. So overall, as you can see, it would seem that PC sales are starting to fall. More companies like Apple or Android or other such smart device companies are taking over. So PC sales are probably gonna fall more with the smart era. And it seems people are wanting more smart devices as it is more easier and convenient to use compared to a PC or a laptop.
The Internet of Things isn't ideal. A more interactive future of everyday objects becoming part of a digital world. When most people think of their houses and machines being smarter than them, they often think of the Terminator movies where humans create technology that, in return, tries to wipe out all human life on Earth. Nobody wants that. In the Internet of Things, there is no hive mind, but all the objects are connected, to the Internet of Things in their own network. They are individually smart, they communicate and talk with each other. This is where the term Internet of Things comes from. It is essentially a network of, well, all things talking to each other, so they know how to act, from judging their surroundings and situations with sensors embedded in these physical objects. Now these are ordinary household objects like lights, alarm clocks, windows, all working together, and again, not under the control from one giant force looking over everything, like an overlord, but by themselves. And don't worry about your bedside lamp trying to kill you when you sleep over. It works through sensors embedded in physical objects, which is already in use today like pacemakers or roadways and street lamps. They're all linked through wired or wireless networks. Now, what do we think of when we think interactive media? We think of video games, some of us think of social networking sites, others think of devices like mobile phones or tablets, all of which are in fact correct. Interactive media represents how users interact with media. Games, websites, devices, they all work with the user input and the users getting output from the media. Interactive media does not work without the user's input. No input means no output. For example, with video games, the users press the correct buttons that control what is on screen, so the player is reacting to what they are seeing on screen, and what they are seeing on screen is being controlled by them and other players. It is a two-way street of information and interactivity. In 10 years' time, the idea will be very different. Programs will react in more ways than we can yet imagine. There may be software in anything from your fridge, to your clothes, to your windows, to your, well, maybe not your walls, but the world around you will change depending on what you need and want, what time of day it is, what the weather is like, what your mood is. The world will change around you, and in return, you will change with it. Technology will be different. We can't get too distracted by all the beeping and distractions on our mobile phones and devices. We need to remember what it's like to make human-to-human contact. Otherwise, we'll be taken too far into the digital world.
Okay, for my segment, I'm going to be talking about responsive web design. Okay, responsive web design is an approach in web design that is aimed at making websites that will provide a viewing experience that is easy to read and navigate. A minimum of resizing, panning, and scrolling is kept across a wide range of devices, whether you're viewing it on your desktop PC or your smartphone or even your tablet. Although using websites on different devices is a lot different. Sometimes it's good, but there are many instances in which it's bad. Some good examples of websites that work both on PC and smartphones would be the IGN website. It looks really good on PC and you can see all sections and it's not all squished up. And when you use it on the smartphone, it's not all squished up either and you can see all sections without any troubles. This goes as well with the game website on both PC and smartphones. Also Facebook and YouTube. These are all used by many people and very popular. Although smaller websites that people don't use as much, such as DC Comics, do not look so good and have not been adapted for use on different devices because it just loads up the same website as it would on a desktop. It looks all squished and you have to zoom in and it's just not easy to use. This might be because many devices these days do not have Flash, or at least not the same one that the PC uses. See, when you usually try to watch something on a desktop YouTube but using a mobile, it will not let you, and it will tell you to go install Flash and you'll have to go to a special website and you can download it but you will not be able to install it, although there is on the store for your device a different type of Flash to install in which you can use on different websites. Although, when I was researching trying to find bad examples of websites that do not work on both smartphones and desktop, it was quite hard, seeing as in this generation most people don't always have a computer and actually use their smartphone or tablet instead. So many people that design a website don't just design for PC but they also design for mobile sites too.
With people spending more time on the internet than they do watching TVs, advertisers had to think of a new way to promote their products. The way they did this was to make online adverts, be it something before you watch on YouTube or something that's on the side of your browser. Doing this, they can spread their adverts everywhere with very little amount of cost. On social websites like Facebook, they can change the adverts displayed to adapt to what you like on the site. Say that you like a certain kind of trainers, it will show you an advert for trainers made by the same people. YouTube does a similar thing with their recommended videos. They look at your video views and likes, and look at the annotations of those same videos. Doing this, they can narrow down what you might like and share it with you. Ever since smartphones blew up in the market, everyone's been trying to make their websites smaller. From eBay to YouTube, if you can do it on your PC, you can now do it on your smartphone just as well. With people on the move all the time, this is a very crucial thing, as now people can still do the things they love to do on their computer right in the palm of their hand.
Hand! Hand! Hand!
So if you wanted to still buy those pair of trainers on eBay, you can do it on the go. Now you can even check your emails for business calls and stuff like that on the go as well, so you don't have to rush back to your office after your lunch break. When it comes to customizing your web browser, Google Chrome is by far the easiest choice.
That was easy.
With it, you can install themes just as you would with your desktop,